Welcome to this deep dive where we're going to be exploring how to talk fast and sound smart.
Yeah, we've all heard that advice to slow down and enunciate,
Right.
but our source material actually makes a pretty compelling case for controlled speed as a communication superpower.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It really is.
It's kind of like turns that whole conventional wisdom on its head.
Exactly.
And it's funny because what's fascinating is that the source actually uses the analogy of a rap song,
Oh, that's a good one.
which seems kind of out of place.
It does.
But if you think about it like a good rap verse,
Yeah.
it has rhythm, clarity, and a punchline, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And effective fast talking relies on those same principles.
It all comes down to delivering structured, concise thoughts with impact.
Yeah. And that's really the key takeaway here, right? It's not just about speed.
No,
It's about substance and delivery.
totally.
I think we've all been in those meetings or presentations
Oh, for sure.
where someone just nails it. Like they convey these complex ideas so quickly and confidently.
Yeah,
Our source argues that anyone can learn to do the same
absolutely.
with practice.
And it's interesting because this challenges that common misconception that talking fast is always a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you do it right,
Yeah.
it can make you more engaging and persuasive.
Uh-huh.
Think about that friend
Yeah.
who can tell a story and you're just
Oh, yeah.
hanging on every word, even though they're
Yeah.
talking a mile a minute.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So how do we actually develop this skill?
Well,
The source breaks it down into 3 core skills.
okay.
The first one is thinking before speaking.
Right.
Now, this isn't just about knowing your
It's
topic.
deeper than that.
Right. It's about anticipating the flow of conversation.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It's imagine a chess player
Yeah.
thinking several moves ahead,
Uh-huh.
or a debater who has their responses already ready in advance.
Oh, wow.
If you can anticipate what others might say or ask,
Right.
you can respond more quickly and intelligently.
Makes you sound really smart.
Exactly. And this takes practice, but it can significantly improve your communication game.
So it's kind of like having a mental script
Kind
for
of.
different scenarios.
It's not about memorizing lines,
Right.
but it's about having a framework for your thoughts.
Okay.
The more you practice pre-processing information and anticipating those potential conversational turns, the faster and more effectively you'll be able to respond in real time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the second core skill
Okay.
is clarity over chaos.
Yes.
So just because we're talking fast
Right.
doesn't mean we have permission to mumble.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Articulation and clear pronunciation are essential, even at higher speeds.
Okay.
Think about actors who can deliver really fast-paced dialogue flawlessly.
Yeah.
They've trained to hit each syllable with precision. The source even suggests breaking down words, especially longer ones, to ensure that each part is clear.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah,
Especially for words that people tend to rush through.
exactly. And it's about being mindful of your enunciation,
Yeah.
even when you're picking up the pace.
Uh-huh.
The goal is to sound crisp and professional,
Right.
not like a runaway train.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the third core skill is all about controlling the speed.
Okay.
So again, it's not about just talking fast all the time.
Yeah.
It's knowing when to speed up and when to slow down for emphasis.
It's like a dance.
It is, yeah.
The source calls this the speed bursts technique.
Okay.
Think of it like a musical composition, right?
Okay.
We have moments of high energy,
Yeah.
moments of stillness,
Uh-huh.
and they all work together to create a captivating experience.
Okay, I like that. Can you give us a concrete example
Sure.
of how that might work in a real conversation?
Okay, so imagine you're presenting an idea. You could say, this strategy will boost engagement, increase revenue, and enhance customer satisfaction.
Okay.
And then pause for a beat.
Oh.
And that's just the beginning.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That pause after the rapid fire delivery
Yeah.
makes the point hit harder.
So it's about using the strategic pauses
Exactly.
to emphasize certain points.
Yeah, and it also prevents listener fatigue.
Right.
Varying your speed keeps things interesting,
Uh-huh.
and it helps to ensure that your message is absorbed.
This is fascinating.
It is.
So we've got the core skills down,
We do.
but how do these translate into different areas of life, like,
Sure.
social settings, business and networking,
For sure.
or even interviews and public speaking?
Oh,
I imagine being able to talk fast and sound smart
I think so.
would be a real advantage in those situations.
Absolutely, and that's what we're going to get into next. Let's dive into some specific examples of how you can apply these skills in different contexts. You'll be surprised at how versatile this technique can be.
Let's start with social settings. I feel like storytelling is such a big part of, just like socializing.
Absolutely.
And I could definitely see how talking fast could either help or hurt, depending on how it's done.
Yeah, you're right. And the source really emphasizes this idea that people are naturally drawn to energy and dynamism in conversations.
Okay.
But it's not just about speed.
Right.
It's about cutting the fluff,
Yeah.
getting straight to the point.
So instead of that rambling, so I went to this restaurant and the food was good and the service was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of story.
The skilled fast talker would say something like, tried this amazing new spot. The flavors were incredible, perfectly spiced, total game changer.
Yeah.
Like it's concise, it's impactful, and it leaves a much stronger impression.
It's like a verbal highlight reel.
It is.
You're giving people the most exciting parts without like bogging them down in all the unnecessary details.
Precise. All right, now let's shift gears to business and networking. I can see how controlled speed could be a real asset in those environments where time is often limited.
Oh, for sure. No one wants to sit through a long-winded intro when they're trying to make connections or close deals.
Right, instead of rambling introductions, get straight to the point.
Yeah.
The source suggests something like, I help companies optimize their marketing strategies for maximum impact.
Boom.
Done.
I love that.
It conveys confidence and efficiency, which are highly valued in those professional settings.
It's direct. It's clear.
Right.
And it immediately tells people what you bring to the table.
And even when you need to explain a complex idea,
Uh-huh.
you can use speed strategically.
Okay.
Start fast to capture attention, then slow down for emphasis.
Okay.
For example, the market is shifting rapidly,
Yeah.
and speed is key to staying ahead. Now let's break down why.
Okay.
That shift in pace keeps the audience engaged and ensures they absorb the key information.
It's like using those speed variations to create like a verbal roadmap, guiding people through the information without losing their attention.
Exactly. Now, interviews and public speaking are interesting areas where controlled speed can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Think about the difference between someone who stumbles through their answers
Yeah.
and someone who delivers their points clearly and concisely.
Yeah, for sure. And I can definitely see how confidence plays a role here.
Oh, you.
Like if you're able to articulate your thoughts quickly and clearly, it just projects that air of authority and expertise.
Absolutely, in an interview. Instead of stumbling through, well, I think my best skill is.
Yeah.
You say my top skill. Problem solving. Here's an example.
Right.
Direct, powerful, unforgettable.
You're cutting through all the noise and getting straight to the heart of what matters.
Exactly. And for public speaking, think about the structure of a good stand-up routine or a TED Talk.
Okay.
Quick setup,
Yeah.
punchy main point,
Mm-hmm.
pause for effect,
Okay.
strong close.
Got it.
Controlled speed helps you deliver each element with maximum impact.
Okay, so we've covered the benefits and the applications.
We have.
But let's be realistic. What are some common mistakes that people make when they're trying to talk fast and sound smart? I can imagine it's easy to fall into some traps if you're not careful.
You're absolutely right. And the source outlines 3 major pitfalls to avoid.
Okay.
The first one is rambling.
Okay.
Talking fast without substance is just noise.
Yeah.
It's like that friend who talks a mile a minute, but you can never remember what they said.
Oh, yeah. We all know that person.
It's just like a verbal avalanche of information, but nothing really sticks.
Right.
The second mistake is mumbling.
Okay.
Fast talking should never come at the expense of clarity.
Right.
Enunciation is crucial no matter how fast you're speaking.
It's about finding that sweet spot between speed and articulation.
It is.
You want people to be impressed by your quick thinking, not struggling to decipher what you're saying.
Precisely. And the third mistake is what the source calls one-speed syndrome.
Okay.
Talking fast all the time can be exhausting for the listener.
Yeah. It loses its impact.
It becomes like white noise after a while.
It does. It does. So it's about using speed variations strategically to highlight key points and keep the listener engaged.
So it's like a chef
It is.
using different spices
Exactly.
to create a complex and flavorful dish.
That's a great analogy.
Okay, so for our listener who's eager to start incorporating these techniques, what are the key takeaways? What would you say are the absolute essentials for mastering this art of talking fast and sounding smart? So we've covered the core skills
Right.
and the common mistakes.
Yeah.
But what are the overarching principles that tie everything together?
The source kind of boils it down to 3 essential elements:
Go.
structure, speed, and clarity, and confidence.
Okay, let's break those down.
Yeah.
Starting with structure.
Sure.
What does that entail in the context of talking fast and sounding smart?
It's about knowing your point before you speak like having that mental roadmap for your conversation.
You know where you're starting, where you're going, and how you're going to get there.
Right.
Think of it like crafting a good story.
Okay.
You need a clear beginning, middle, and end.
So even though you're speaking at a faster pace, you're not just like throwing words out there.
Right.
There's a deliberate structure behind it.
Exactly. And it ensures that even when you're talking fast, you're not losing sight of the main message.
Okay.
And this clarity of thought then translates into clarity of speech, which is our next element.
Right. Speed and clarity, we've touched on this.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear more about finding that balance.
It's about hitting that sweet spot where you're speaking quickly enough to convey energy and intelligence, but not so fast that you sacrifice articulation.
Okay.
It's a skill that takes practice, but it's worth mastering.
Yeah, because when you can speak with both speed and clarity, you command attention and you project competence.
Totally.
It's almost like you're in control of the conversation's tempo.
Precisely, and finally, confidence. This is the secret ingredient that ties everything together.
I like that.
It's about owning your words, your delivery, your presence.
I can see how that would be crucial.
Yeah.
If you're not confident in what you're saying, it doesn't matter how fast or articulate you are.
It really doesn't.
Right.
Confidence gives your words weight and impact.
Okay.
It's the difference between someone simply reciting information and someone genuinely sharing their knowledge and passion.
Yeah, okay.
It makes people lean in and listen.
It seems like mastering this skill is about more than just talking fast.
It is.
It's about developing like a complete communication style that's both engaging and effective.
That's a great way to put it. It's about combining speed, clarity, structure, and confidence to create a communication style that truly captivates your audience.
Yeah.
And remember, this isn't about becoming someone you're not.
Right.
It's about tapping into your authentic voice and using it strategically.
That's a really important point. This isn't about putting on a persona.
Right.
It's about refining your natural communication style.
Exactly.
So for our listener who's ready to level up their communication game, where would you recommend they start?
I'd say start by becoming more aware of your own speaking habits.
Okay.
Record yourself having a conversation or giving a presentation, and then listen back to it.
Okay.
Where do you tend to ramble?
Yeah.
Where could you be more concise? Where could you inject a little more energy and pace?
That's such a simple but powerful exercise.
It is.
Hearing yourself from a different perspective can be really eye-opening.
Absolutely. And once you've identified areas for improvement, you can start practicing those core skills we discussed.
Okay.
Thinking before speaking, working on your articulation, and experimenting with speed variations.
And remember, it's a process.
It is.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight.
Exactly. It takes time and effort to refine any skill.
Yeah.
Especially one as nuanced as communication.
But I think the payoff is worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
The ability to communicate effectively is invaluable.
It is.
In all areas of life, it can open doors, build relationships, and help you achieve your goals.
Couldn't agree more so. To wrap up this deep dive into talking fast and sounding smart, I want to leave our listener with this thought.
Okay.
What if you could walk into any room, command attention with your words, and leave a lasting impression?
That's a powerful image, and it's entirely within your reach.
It is.
It's about embracing the power of your voice.
Yes.
And using it strategically to convey your ideas and connect with others on a deeper level.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of communication.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy talking.
And may your words be swift and your insights sharp.